So Telltale Games just announced that they have teamed up with HBO and George R.R. Martin and the whole Game of Thrones universe to create a gaming experience, as is their forte, for the universe of Game of Thrones. I am both really excited about that, because if you've watched this channel at all, you know I'm really excited about pretty much anything Game of Thrones. But I'm also kind of confused, not worried, but curious about what exactly that means. For those of you who aren't big gamers, Telltale Games has created two really big game franchises. One is tied to the world and the universe of The Walking Dead, and they've also created The Wolf Among Us, which is also a really good narrative game. So Telltale Games, as their name suggests, Telltale, focuses on a different kind of gaming experience where they're really focused on immersive narrative and character development as opposed to quick shooting and quick action. They've really created a genre of gaming with the style of game that they create. The Walking Dead game has seen really big success among both gamers and non-gamers because of it. It both brings all of the positive aspects of gaming that we all love, and all of the narrative immersive experiences of just watching a movie or a television show. I'm really excited about them bringing that voice to the world of Westeros. I like immersing myself in the world of Westeros. I love the books, I love the show, and it'll just be another avenue for me to explore that world, and in some ways a bit more freely and of my control. That being said, the reason that the Walking Dead game, I think, is really successful is that the zombie apocalypse is kind of a very large universe. The world is f***ed, and so it's easy for Telltale to jump into the narrative of different characters within that world. I don't know if that's the direction they're gonna take with the Game of Thrones game. One of the most interesting things about Game of Thrones is how loyal the show is to the books. I mean, it changes small things and it leaves out small things, but for the most part, it's very loyal to the book series. If the game is the book series as well, that just seems redundant and boring. If the game follows characters that are not on the show that are in the books, that's kind of interesting. And if they're completely new characters that simply exist in the world of Westeros, where all of this political stuff is happening, while it would be kind of interesting to see how the actions of the big players of Game of Thrones affect sort of the little man, like the small villager that lives in the neck, I don't know if any of us really care. Like the Bakers of Winterfell, like I don't know if we care what's happening to the Bakers of Winterfell, unless their kids are the kids that get burned to a crisp, but then we know how that story ends. Because Telltale's arcs are longer and more involved, they have seasons, like there are seasons with this character. Ideally, there's multiple sort of game narratives. If you just throw us into like, you're a soldier at the Battle of Blackwater, there's a lead up, and there's a happening, and I guess there's an aftermath, but then that character story is kind of over. I don't know what the greater universe is, but I'm really excited to find out. But I also hope it's not just like play as Tyrion, because I know what happens to Tyrion. And if it changes, I don't know what's happening. Just do something cool. That's all any of us can hope for. And I believe in you, Telltale Games. I do. Subscribe to CineFix for more movie news, TV news, and news related to narratives we all love. Like Game of Thrones. Boop.
They did reveal who did it, so.
Yes. You want to know? Okay.